Welcome back to the channel. I'm King Abaddon, and in today's video we're back in Anthem for episode 7, I think. And there's a contract somewhere that I can find. I think it's either the Sentinels or the Arcanist, but I'm gonna look for that first. And I think we're doing a story mission this time because we did contracts last time, but I also don't remember, so don't quote me on that. I think we have a new suit that we're able to use now too, a new javelin. So I'm going to look into that while whatever happens here happens.
Wonderful you have some time to help. I have several things that need attention, especially finding more of those runes.
Okay, so I'm back now. Alright, let's see. So, hang on, there's someone who wants to just talk. I think it was Yarrow. So what I was talking about, like in the top you see that same symbol that's over Yarrow's head. So that kind of tells you who you need to go and talk to for story stuff, like quest, like to advance in the missions basically.
Ah, my friend, always good to see you. You see the stories up on the wall?
Yeah, I was wondering about those.
When a freelancer falls, their link is brought to me. In life, the link connects us to a cipher. In death, it is a record.
And you write up what happened?
Yes, to remember what freelancers have given.
You do this all by yourself?
It is an honor. We should not grieve, we should celebrate. I want you to go honor our dead. Bring me their stories, and light their way home.
Is that it? Alright, so I think that's about everyone we need to talk to. We can talk to her, but I think it marks anybody you can just talk to. And eventually some people stop saying stuff to you. There's a lot of collectibles around here too, but I don't really care for the collectibles because even in my, I picked them up, but I never read them. So it doesn't really matter that much. I'm shrugging like you can see me. But I think what I'm going to do actually is, since there's no comments talking about a new javelin to use, I'm going to go ahead and switch over to the Storm. And I'm just going to call it this Storm since I don't really have a name for it or need a name for it necessarily. Okay, so I just went through and set up my Storm like I said I was doing. Blast Seal, I've crafted the Lightning Strike, crafted a better wind wall, I already had one, so I just made a better one of that instead of going for the best I could have got out of that. Didn't have any, actually I didn't check this, but I'm taking, the first one's already lightning, so I'll do this frosting so I can freeze stuff, because like I've always said, I like the freezing abilities just to slow stuff down and hold them still basically. It's really good for like bosses, especially when you're playing stuff solo, which most of my stuff would probably end up being solo. We took the Light of the Legion, that's one we've already had for a while, that came with like what is it, the deluxe version of the game, which is what I bought when I first got the game, and made this heavy pistol. And I might show that all in a what's it called, time lapse or whatever, but I have to figure out how to make a time lapse first. since all of that is done and out the way, we're just gonna jump into the mission we just got from Yarrow. So we're gonna be looking for fallen freelancers, like I guess like dog tags is basically what it is, but I guess it's like a chip inside of the suit that marks and like records everything, like a flight recorder for a plane or a black box. That's what I'd assume it is.
Too many links, too many freelancer stories have been lost. Find them and bring them home. Their sacrifices won't be forgotten. Their deeds should burn bright. Very bright. You hear me?
I hear you.
The site ahead has not been tended to. You will change that. A freelancer died here. Others came to finish his work. Some remain. Strong alone, stronger together.
I feel like I've heard that one before too, and I don't know if it was actually in this game or if it was somewhere else. Oh, I remembered it. It's like no, I've heard something similar to it. And back at the barnyard, yeah, it's a weird reference, but Otis and his dad, whose name I can't remember, he was like, a strong man stands up for himself, a strong man stands up for others. For some reason, that's what that line made me think of. Strong alone, stronger together. And I'm sure it's come up in a lot of other... Oh, I landed on something. It's come up in a lot of other, like shows and stuff like that. It's not that hard of a phrase to come up with on accident.
You fight well for your brothers and sisters.
See, that's the thing right there. How quickly I'm going down. It's because of the way that I play with my storm. That makes it seem weaker, but it's probably just as strong. Like everything's strong in its own right. It'd probably be stronger too if I didn't miss all these shots. Alright, cool. Sorry if I'm moving the screen too much too. I'm just trying to find stuff basically.
To celebrate their lives and guide them home.
Oops. Oops. What is it? X? Yeah.
The world is finished. I have another site for you. Very close. This next place will be bloody. You must collect the links of the fallen freelancers.
So you can write their stories.
Yes.
I think this one, I think it's a lot of the same stuff. This story mission has a lot of contract-like stuff.
Looks like a recent battle.
Or not contract-like, it's very contract-like where you're just jumping from place to place collecting stuff. So those are wyverns. I'm probably talked about them a little bit, but if they hit you with the fire in the air, you'll usually just fall from the sky, since your javelin instantly overheats when you're on fire, as most things do when they're on fire. And I keep hitting my face on the microphone on accident. Oh my, I can't hit this thing at all. I'm gonna die trying to hit the one little thing. The biggest enemy in this class of enemies too.
I miss the action.
I do wonder what type of suit Yarrow would go in with, because you know the Ranger, Storm, Colossus, and Interceptor. Definitely don't see him as a Storm or Interceptor, but it's definitely between a Colossus or a Ranger. I want to say Ranger though, because he seems more like the leader type, so he'd have to be able to get around the field and see stuff, but still be able to hold his own. Honestly, it's really up in the air. It seems like based on the way that the story is set up, you and other freelancers will take multiple suits in. unless you're gonna like specialize down one path. But since we don't really have that option to put money into it, like we're not in the game putting money in into each suit, then of course we'd have different suits overall, and we're just collecting stuff to use more than buying stuff.
Found another one. Gear is mostly stripped, including the helmet.
Oh, no link?
None.
Strange.
Oh, I didn't see the bodies of the other ones. Oh, okay, I thought that was an arm
But
sticking
no
up.
links again. Scars, I guess?
No, Scars would never leave all this behind. Someone else.
Up past it. Oh, there it is. Most of the time when I'm looking for these little things, I end up jumping right past them.
That's all of them. And no links. Anywhere.
Damn. I know who's doing this. I don't know why, though. First, survivors left a memorial here. Light the fire.
Yarrow, who took those links?
Outlaws. Criminals with no code. Banished from civilization. Monsters.
So I honestly forgot about the Outlaws. I think it's Outlaw, Scar, Dominion, and I can't remember what the bugs are called. But I definitely forgot about the Outlaws because they don't really come up that much. I think this is the main time that they come up.
We've got company.
There they are. Lawless cowards. You get back everything they stole. All of it.
I'll try.
She sounded so scared when she said she
I
tried.
got some gear. Helmets mostly.
Good. Get the rest before we lose them.
Got a link here.
I do remember them
They are
though,
stealing links. Why?
because in like one of the like harder missions, they come in with like machine guns and shotguns and rocket launchers. Like they bring all heavy artillery type stuff. Really hard to get around, especially right now with really probably should drop the difficulty for playing with this new Javelin, since it doesn't have the same levels, have no components on it, which are like modifiers for the suits. I think I've explained that. Wrong button.
They will keep coming. Believe me. Focus on retrieving all that they stole. Very important.
None left? No, there's more. And that is the Storm's ultimate, which in my opinion is the best one because of how much AoE it does, and it does combo into.
More links. They were after them for sure.
It's just cool. It looks cool too because it's like a meteor of an element basically.
I have a long history with outlaws. All of it bad.
Am I gonna die? I think so. No, I'm good. Never mind. Didn't see that one at all. It's another death. I don't know how many that means for the series, because I don't really count them. Probably like 2 or 3. Overall, death doesn't really mean that much in this game, since someone really like comes and recovers your body, I guess. Unless they crack into your suit, which they usually don't in this, because, you know, it just fades to black and you load back in. It is cool or interesting how they leave like the little red things around. There's probably ammo still sitting around too. Red is health, if you haven't noticed. It's not fire or going to hurt you, as someone once thought. But
I knew it! They are stealing links. Why? Makes no sense.
More links. They were after them for sure.
Bring back all you find. We'll need to figure this out later. I have a long history with outlaws. All of it bad.
I don't know how much. What do we have to do? Uphold traditions, clear the site. Okay. Oh, there's a turret or something back there. I don't know, it was weird actually. I think it was the red line off of that I saw, but usually turrets have a red line when they're aiming. And then, you know, they lock on and shoot. But of course the Outlaws actually don't have that, since they don't think that they have bases. And I picked them up too fast, so it kind of confused the storyline basically.
The links you retrieved will allow us to celebrate those who died here. But we're not finished.
It's like dirt in there.
Make sure none of them ever dare set foot here again.
Why are there so few stories posted back at the fort?
Most went to Freemark, to the Grand Wall. After the Heart of Rage, we started again in Fort Tarsus.
So you lost all those stories in Freemark.
Yes, we lost much of our history.
I thought they was gonna get escape trying to go through here.
How did they know to come here? How?
I should have brought a full auto weapon instead of 2 semis. I do like how far the teleport goes, and how when you're doing it, well not teleport, the dodge, but how when you're doing it you can't be hit because it is technically a teleport. See, this is why I like it the most too, because you can, if you angle it right, you can hit like pretty much every enemy depending on how they're grouped up, but more than just the one, which generally is what happens with the Colossus, despite his ult being a huge, pretty much mini nuke or tactical nuke. And with the interceptor you can focus down one enemy, but it doesn't usually hit more than one, and then the ranger, his locks onto multiple. It's really hard to get just the one enemy.
Stealing from us, stealing our history. I don't understand why. But listen, there is one more site, very important.
On my way. Is this it?
A monument of sorts. Yes, I've not been able to visit for some time, and I wanted to see it again. For a freelancer. He did great things. So stubborn. But come, bring me the links you recovered. Their stories will be written.
Oops. I got used to pressing Y to change weapons. We're gonna go straight into another mission though, so don't even worry about it. I'll bring you back when we're in it though. Now we have a friend for this one. We got 2. This is something fancy right here. Anyways, as you can see, we're back. People helping us. Ooh. And it looks nice too. Yeah, I like that. I like the colors on it at least. It's the basic suit for the Colossus, which I don't think I ever used, because it looks more like a submarine to me. Like the old school. Looked like his arm was twitching. An old school dive suit. But we actually have help for this mission, which would be interesting to see how stuff comes together in a non-formal way.
Stay close, I'll find the right script frequencies. Last, there's a guest being attacked in this area.
Yep. Misplaying that Colossus.
I understand.
But it's all by choice. These are some higher tier weapons, as you can see by the different colors on them. Oh my god. This is why I like playing with random people, just to see what they have, because I don't look into games for real. Games that I play, at least, I'd like to try and find it on my own. So when this stuff came out, like the melee weapons, it was all new to me when I saw it. Whatever gun they're shooting is cool. I think I actually have it though, or I have something similar to it. It looks like a razor blade. Or not razor blade, saw blade. But it's cool nonetheless.
Almost there.
I think I have it on my higher. Yeah, I think I do have this weapon actually, or something close to it. Anyways, still cool nonetheless. The minigun going crazy over here. and I'm just doing nothing watching them. I'm having more fun seeing what they're doing than doing anything myself. That was one of his mortars, or her mortars, I actually don't know. All this pink on it though, that just drew the aggro basically. So everything's gonna try and attack that Colossus now. And we're missing someone. There's another storm around here somewhere, but I don't know where they went. I'm gonna go pick that up real quick. Oh, we just got it.
Quickly done. That should be enough. This is going very well, and I have more work for you today. I've got a lead on some runes. My sources are very good on this. Take a look for me.
Still want to know what kind of gun that was though, because it does look different from mine. Mine looked like green and kind of corrupted, I guess is how it looked, but theirs was like white and it looked a little different basically, and it still shot in a similar way. I also haven't used my other account since I started this video, just or making videos, because I don't want to accidentally start using that one and then have to go through and delete what I had and then restart the yeah, it's a whole thing if I mess it up basically. It's easier to just stick to the accounts that I already have open. Makes it easier to start and stop on videos. Ooh, I don't know what that was, but it's kind of cool.
Here we are. The runes should be scattered around here. There's one. I know there's more.
I mean, at this point, I think everyone else has it covered. So I'm just gonna jump around and grab these rooms. Probably a little more boring for the content of the video. I don't know. Oh, there's that other storm. I picked up 2, so I've done my part technically. They're gonna get that one. Hit the rock.
Fantastic. Another one finished.
Take out a few of these things. Or it looks like they lived actually. They're also using the same thing. Or there's an audio glitch. They actually don't know.
Quickly done. That should be enough.
That's not the gun I have. It looks like it bounces around in the enemies instead of just hitting and sticking to one. What are we doing? Clearing the area, I guess? So right now I'm still running with no components. I probably do have a component at this point, I would hope at least, that I have components that increase my lightning damage, which I know a lot of them do. In general, actually, not even just for the storm.
Finished. Good work. Very good work. Looks like I have another task for you.
And then frost damage too. Generally, you want to try and get components that increase the other stuff that you're using. So if you know you're heavier ability user, like for myself, I have one that increases mortar fire on my Colossus, on my main Colossus.
I'm reading some spiking energy.
So that's part of what I built towards, is recharge rate for abilities and shield and health, because I get in there, use my abilities, shoot my gun a little bit, and that's pretty much it. And what is this, an R6? Probably gonna die before I get, yeah, I got one hit in there.
The fight's over.
Fine display of skill against overwhelming odds.
One of my friends started with, I think he started with the interceptor actually, and then switched to the storm. And what he did was he would ult and then like hover slowly over to like a downed teammate and then repair them, since he couldn't be killed in that form and he wouldn't take damage for real either. So it was really smart actually, and I don't think anyone really thought of that. Usually it was the interceptors who would go around and do it. And at this point, I think there's some type of interceptor ability that lets you do that. Like you can just go near them and then automatically pick them up. Look, wait, I want these weapons that they got. I don't know what they're using, but I want them. because all this stuff looks cool. That's probably what we'll do once we finish the story, and probably give this game a rest for a while when more games come out, is go through and for raids and try and get some legendary equipment. So there's still a lot I can do with my top tier character. Even though I think I have like 2 or 3 of them like maxed out, there's still like very rare weapons that I can get. Like pretty much all the weapons they're using are rare. Even that minigun that he was using or she was using is rare because it's an upgraded skyburster or something like that, so it has a really fast fire rate, but it's really rare. At least for me it was. I only found 1, and then I think I ended up getting rid of it because I found it early into my legendary, so it's lower level than what it could have been, so I wasn't going to use it anymore, so I had to get rid of it. The 2 that are black though, actually, as much as I like all black and a little bit of color, I don't really like those, especially the Interceptor. It just looks weird. I do like the Colossus though. That pink and white is kind of garish, like hard to look at, but it's also good looking, I guess. It's very bright and colorful and not common for anything really. I've rarely seen someone choose all pink, or that much pink at least, for their what's it called, javelins. Okay, so just to finish this off, we are going to talk to her real quick. What's her name? Zoe?
If it isn't my favorite sweet talker. You've been busy.
I try.
You're keeping the scars off us and got Bryn to work with a freelancer. No easy feats. I had a good feeling about you ever since you turned up. Keep proving me right, okay?
Fort's home. Gotta look out for it.
No argument here. It's good you settled in. Not everyone does. And I'm guessing Fort Tarsus wasn't in your plans before, well...
The Heart of Rage. I didn't know what would happen then, or where I'd land after. Turns out it was here.
Happy you stuck around?
Yeah. Not sure what I expected, but this place grows on you.
I wasn't meant to be here myself. I was on a strider out of Helios. Supposed to end up in Anthem.
What happened?
Cataclysm. The sky turned yellow, ground changed under us. The survivors were brought here.
You never got to Anthem?
Didn't have the means to try again at the time, and now? I got good work, had a kid. The fort's home. Glad you feel the same. When you're here, anyway. Which reminds me, I should run checking your javelin before you're off again.
Thanks, though. I'll see you around.
I always gotta respect the people that keep stuff running. Engineers in real life, her in the game. There's a lot of like support characters around pretty much. I did that thing where I shrug again. I don't know why I do that. I don't know. All this stuff is a lower tier, so I'm just getting rid of it. And then we should be able to just yeah, nothing we got was better than what we made, which kind of makes sense since we're making stuff at higher tiers than what we would find in most cases. I don't really like using fire for my storm. I don't know why, it just doesn't seem to fit it, especially with the way it looks now too, with all the blue and the ice. Increases blast damage by 35% of the base value. I completely stopped reading it for some reason, so we'll take that one. I like to keep like instead of using universal components, I like to stay with the like how it says storm components. Basically, it's gear damage by 50% and lowers gear recharge rate by 20%. I don't use an auto rifle. Its recharge rate by 50% and lowers damage by 20%. So if we use both of those, we'd have a 30% increase in both things in theory. But in overall, I'm going to take these two. Inscription component that increases ice damage by 5% of base damage and effect builds up by 5% of base build up. So I think that's just overall increase of ice damage, and then for like all of your ice stuff by 5%. Then for everything that increases that effect, it adds another 5% on top of that. So with this one, I think it would add 8% ice effect. And then if something else had a 3%, it also put 5% on top of that. So it kind of builds it over. It helps build it faster, I guess. But I think I'm going to go for the recharge rate. Just because I'm more concerned with that than the damage right now. I think the blast seal is the lightning, which needed slightly more damage anyways. Which I have by 35% over here. So overall, we're not really going down that much on the damage in that at least. So that's still fine. I think it's probably Mathias that wants to talk again. Yeah, because we just got runes for him, so he's probably going to want to talk about those, I think. Or it's Yarrow. I think it's both of them, actually, so we'll go talk to those two.
I have it. I finally have it.
What's going on?
The runes were indeed the key. Madness to think they were there all the time, waiting.
You found something?
An excellent question, to which I have an excellent answer. The final resting place of the Elysian manuscript.
Sounds like I'm going on an expedition.
The runes speak of a special vault in a high tower built on a mountaintop. Objects of power were brought there. Shaper relics, artifacts from beyond the Hesperian tide.
And a manuscript.
Indeed. A very special manuscript.
Okay, tower on a mountaintop. Shouldn't be too hard to find, right?
So I called that mission before from Yarrow, whoa, that's not right. I called it a story mission. I'm pretty sure they're like personal missions, which is why it's a person in the picture, which makes more sense now in hindsight than it did when I first looked at them. But everything's clear in hindsight. Is it this way? I'm gonna get lost. No, I think I'm going the right way. Yeah.
Trouble at the graves, eh?
Yeah, outlaws.
The links you recovered. Priceless to me, but...
Wouldn't buy a hot meal?
nor a bottle of Fortuo brew. So much history destroyed when the Grand Wall in Freemark fell. Who we lost, what they accomplished.
That last grave I visited.
A friend. He never came home. I made that marker for him. For now, I have many stories to write and glasses to raise.
Well, that's pretty much it. Let's see what Owen has to say, though. Because he's always an interesting character. This is the leaderboards. I have no idea what this is for. Oh, I know what this is. This is like, there's a monthly thing that basically happens. You're just trying to get a higher score than everyone. I don't know what you get from it at all, because it's actually the first time I've seen it, obviously. But I know like every week there's a different modifier for a different, what are they called? It's not a raid. Let me check actually. For a different stronghold, which is equivalent to a raid. Like in most games it's called a raid. If you've seen Destiny, those things where you just want to get a lot of your friends together so you can coordinate what to do, because it's going to be a harder mission, although it's not that big of a deal in this game. Anyways, you just get higher score. I don't know what you get from it, like I said already.
Oh, hello there.
Got a few minutes?
Do I? Of course I do. You're my favourite Lancer.
I am? Or am I your only Lancer?
Yeah, mostly, yes. But you do know that I pick up the odd extra contract. Fella's gotta eat. I like to be open to opportunity when it strikes. That's cool, right?
Of course, I'm not a monster. We all gotta eat, even me.
Absolutely. I appreciate it, mate. However, I do think we make a particularly good team. Don't you?
What's up, Owen? Feeling insecure?
What? No. Moving on.
Anyway, things look better now that Corvus is interested.
You rescuing that Mathias fellow reminded me of the Scar nightmare that was our first contract.
Times 10. That was crazy.
I'd only been in Tarsus for a few weeks, and here I was, working with a Lancer who's survived the Heart of Rage. I was pretty chuffed. Life for this poor, wayward cipher was suddenly looking up.
What do you mean, poor wayward?
After I left the Satomi, I bounced around a lot. Had a gig on a Strider, wandered around Anthem. You may have noticed I get bored very easily.
Life's what you make it.
You really believe that?
Yeah, I do.
I envy you. I'll have to think about that.
Owen, is it true what they say? That every cipher's a little broken? Since we're having a bit of a heart-to-heart, thought maybe I could ask.
Looking for the root of my insecurity?
I've opened a can of worms.
No. Knowledge is power, right? So yeah, every cipher is a little broken. Or a lot broken. You don't hone the ability to link minds without suffering a loss somewhere else. It's different for everyone. Often it's small, but sometimes it leaves you unable to function.
Like dead?
Huh? No, never dead.
Whatever it cost, you're a cipher. And a good one.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And when I'm my own Lancer, then everyone will see how extra amazing I am.
Why not just try to be a better cipher?
I thought life's what you make it. Gotta buy into your own idealism, mate. Plus there are plenty of level blah blah ciphers around. What's amazing about that?
Should I ask how it's going?
With the lessons? Well, it's more of a book, actually, but I'm working hard. Turns out I'm a natural.
You know it took me years, right?
Yes, but that's you. Anyway...
Thanks for the insight on ciphers. Looking forward to more contracts.
Indeed. See you around.
You know what? I think some of the stuff that I'd say to Owen now is based on what I know he turns into later. So that's probably why I seem to choose. It seems like the right ones are like, or not the right ones, the left ones are the good or like neutral ones, and then the right ones are kind of like the leave me alone type, like you're more secluded. But anyways, there's a train going through, but that's all for this train threw off my whole thing. That's all for this video. You can follow me on Instagram at king__Abaddon. Like the video, share with your friends, watch the videos, subscribe, watch it again, then subscribe on another account. That's all from me though. I'll see you next time.